Hey everybody, it's Miss Austin. I'm going to be making a video of the review. Here we go. Calculate the value of x. This is a right triangle, so I'm going to be using trigonometry. I have the adjacent side and the hypotenuse, which is cosine. Cosine of 41 is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we're going to multiply both sides by x. So then I would divide 188 divided by the cosine of 41. 249.1-ish. Determine the measure of angle D. So I've got opposite and adjacent, which is tangent. The tangent of D is 11 over 9. I'm looking for an angle. We use the inverse. So second tan 11, 9, about 51 degrees. Oops, did I do that upside down? Oh, 19. Oopsie daisy. I was just looking at my answer key to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Let's try that one more time. Second tan 11 divided by 19 is about 30 degrees. So 30 degrees. All right, number 3, determine the value of x in the diagram at the right. Hint, the big triangle is not a right triangle. So in order to find that, I'm going to need a side on this. So I'm going to be solving this triangle first. So I'm going to use this angle to find this side. I have this side, which is the adjacent. That's the opposite. So the tangent of 39 equals, I don't know, over 53. Multiply both sides by 53. 53 times the tangent of 39. That side's about 42.9. 42.9. Now I'm going to focus my attention on this triangle. I've got the opposite, and I want the hypotenuse, which is sine. So the sine of 60 is 42.9 over, I don't know. In this case, when we multiply both sides by x, I end up dividing this by the sine of 60. 42.9 divided by the sine of 60, about 49.5. And this inside is 49.5. Suppose a person is standing 21 feet away from the base of a flagpole. At eye level, and can see the top of the pole at a 57-degree angle of elevation, not drawn to scale. And that person's eye level is 4 feet 3 inches. So this is still 21 here too. I'm going to solve this triangle right here, but then I'll have to add in this height right here for the true height of the flagpole. So I've got opposite and adjacent, which is tan. Tangent of 57 is x over 21. 21 times the tangent of 57, about 32.3 for this. Then I have to add in 4 feet and 3 inches, and 3 inches is 3 out of 12. That's 4.25. I'm going to add that plus that. That's the eye height. The grand total of 36.6. Suppose a certain lake measures 600 feet across and a lodge stands on one shore. Bobby is looking out at the lake from the top floor of the lodge, and his angle of depression to the opposite shore is 4 degrees. So technically the angle of depression is made right here. This is 4 degrees, so it's here. Assume the lake and the surrounding shore and ground are flat. How high above the ground is Bobby? I'm trying to find that. So opposite and adjacent. The tangent of 4 degrees is x over 600. 600 times the tangent of 4. It's about approximately 42 feet high. Suppose a communications tower is built on top of the building with the following specifications. From a point on the ground that is 200 meters away, the angle of elevation to the top of the tower is 23.6. And the angle of elevation to the top of the building is 15.9. Calculate the height of the tower. Over this one, sorry, the whole big triangle. Basically, this one, you have 23.6 with 200. So figure out that. I'll get all the way to the top of the tower. And then you have 200 with a 15.9, and that gets to the top of the building, right here. So the difference between those two will give the height of the tower. So that's going to be the tangent of 23.6 is x over 200. The tangent of 15.9 is x over 200. 200 times tangent of 23.6. So this one is 87.4. And this one is 57. If I subtract those two, that means the tower is 30.4 meters. Consider a right triangle with an acute angle theta. Suppose we know that the sine of theta is 16 over 44. Calculate cosine and tangent. Give your answers in exact form. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem. Square root of that, and it says to leave my answer exact. So I'm going to try to reduce that. See 16. That's 16 times 105, so it's 4 root 105. 5. Yeah, okay, so now this is 4 root 105. So the cosine of theta is 4 root 105 over 44, and the tangent of theta is 16 over 4 root 105. Stretch each angle below in standard position. In doing so, indicate the direction of the rotation, the number of rotations, the location of the reference angle, and the measure of the reference angle. Okay, so starting here, 617 once, all 180. 257 minus 180. Another 77. Do that there. That's 77. So that's my reference angle. It would be, that right there. It's not one of the ones that we've memorized on the unit circle, but that would be the reference angle in quadrant 1. It's a 77-degree angle. Did you answer everything? 77 would be right there. Okay, next one, negative 6 pi over 5. I'm going to convert that to degrees. Negative 6 times 180 divided by 5, negative 216. 180, 36 more. So that would be, the reference angle for that would be over here at 36. Right? The actual, I'm going to highlight these. That's negative 216. This one. Okay, moving on. Consider a negative 142-degree angle. Give at least 3 angles that are cosine to this angle, and doing so, name at least one that is positive and one that is negative. So I used to always like to draw. So negative 142 is what? 180 minus 142 and 38 psi. And about right here. So the easiest way mathematically is just to add and subtract 360. Negative 142 plus 360 is 218. Do that again. 578. And then I'll subtract 360. Negative 502. Of course, there's an infinite number of answers. Convert 7/10 pi to degrees. 180 over pi, the pi's cancel, straight from the calculator. 7 times 180 divided by 10, 126 degrees. How many radians is 260? Give your answer in 2 different ways, as an exact answer and as a decimal approximation. So 260 times pi over 180 is 260 pi over 180. Reduce this. You can use your calculator if you want to move it by hand. 2 goes in there 13 times, 2 goes in there. There's the exact answer. And then if you wanted the approximation, you go 13 times pi divided by 9. So 4.54 radians. This negative 204-degree angle coterminal with an angle whose measure is 43 pi over 15 radians. So I'd probably, negative 204 is 180 and 92, 24 past that. It's 24 there. Negative 204. I just like to look at it. You don't have to do this. And then I would convert this (43 times 180 divided by 15). That's 516 degrees. And I'm just showing visually, so 516 would be once around, and 516 minus 360 is another 156, which is 90 And then 156 minus 90 is 66, which is exactly that's what's left here. Let's see, it is 516. Yes. And you can show it mathematically because if you go 516 and subtract 361, you get 156. And then subtract 360 again, you get negative 243. Suppose the terminal side of an angle theta in standard position passes through the point 15, negative 6. Find a possible angle measure for theta. 15, negative 6. Now I could find the positive or the negative angle. I'm going to make a triangle out of that. I'm just going to look at that over here. That's 15, 6. I'm ignoring the negative right now. So that's tangent to figure out that angle. Opposite divided by adjacent. So it's about a 22-degree angle. 22 is not the answer. You could say negative 22. That would be going this way. Or you could do 360 minus 22 and get 338. And of course, an infinite number more. Determine the value of sine theta. Give your answers in exact. So now this is kind of morphing the other problem with this one. I need to find the hypotenuse. So 15 squared plus 6 squared equals, I don't know, squared. 261. And the square root. Let's see what goes in there. 9 times 29. So this is 3 root 29 for the hypotenuse. So now the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. That could be cleaned up some more. That could be 2 over the square root of 29. The cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And the tangent of theta is 6. And then the last is the unit circle, the exact trig values. So I'm just going to kind of sketch out what I do in my head. So pi over 3 is that one right there. That's the 60-degree one. So it's the short leg first, long leg second, and I want the sine. So it's the y-coordinate. Cosine of negative 270. That's here. The point on the unit circle here is 0, 1. Cosine is the x, 0. Tangent of 5 pi over 6. Every 6 is 30. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's here. Which that matches the 30. So it's the square root of 3 over 2 and a half. And then tangent here is the square root of 3 over 3. Down in this quadrant, both the legs are negative, and when you divide a negative by a negative, you get a positive. So it's the square root of 3 over 3. Cosine of 540. 540 is 360. Is it 180 more? Yep. So then you're here. The point here is negative 1, 0. And cosine is the x, negative 1. 7 halves. Every 90 is a half. 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves, 7 halves. And here, the point here is 0, negative 1. Tangent is y divided by x. This is on the point. And last one, tangent of 3 pi over 4. That's a 45, right? 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So that matches your 45. Your 45 tangents are easy because the legs are equal. And y divided by over in this quadrant, we've got one leg negative and one positive, so it would be a negative. All right, guys, I hope that helps. I'll see you soon.